Okay, you're saying that you need to make some money. You need to be able to do this from your phone, and you need a flexible schedule. Okay, cool. Say less. Because I have this side gig that I do, and it makes me a considerable amount of money. It's extremely flexible. I just work whenever I want to. So, you're interested in finding out about it? Because actually, it's pretty good for a stay-at-home mom. It's good for retirees. If you're a college student, even if you have a 9-to-5 already, this is good too. If you just need some extra coins, I'm here for that. So let me just tell you how to sign up for it. And then you just, secure the bag for the remaining of 2021. And then when 2022 rolls around, you're already winning. So you interested? Let's get into it. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Renee, and I have been driving with Spark now for a little bit over 2 years. I am in Georgia, as some of y'all probably already know. So when I speak on these tips and things that I do, I am speaking for the area that I am in, okay? A lot of people have been in my comments, and I've also gotten quite a few DMs and just people in general just asking, how did I get started with Spark? You're going to get started. You have to log into their website and you just sign up to be a driver. In order to be a driver, you have to be at least 18 years old. You have to have a vehicle with insurance. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be your vehicle, but if you are going to drive someone else's vehicle or have a rental, you definitely have to be listed on the insurance as a driver. Otherwise, you can't use that vehicle. In my area, and I don't think in no other areas, that you can use a motorcycle or a bicycle. So it definitely has to be a vehicle. You have to have a phone and not a prepaid phone. So you have to actually have a pretty, I guess, a phone plan, but it doesn't work with those prepaid phone plans or things like that. You do have to do a background check, and it takes about a week or two. Sometimes it all depends on how busy they are. It all depends, but you do have to do a background check, and you won't hear back from anyone until that background check is clear. Now, you won't hear from Spark per se, because they use this company called DDI, which is kind of like their human resources, a human resource company that handles all their own onboarding, pay, and things of that nature. So any questions that you would have once you're accepted to drive, then you would be dealing directly with DDI, and that is where your update will come from. Once you clear your background, they're going to give you your username and your login so that you will be able to log into the actual app. Now, when you download the app, there are two different versions for Android users and the Apple users, because some of the features that's within the app is in different locations for Android users versus the Apple users. So when I'm speaking about the different features in my phone, when I show it to you guys, I'm speaking from Android. No, I'm not an Apple user. I'm speaking from Android, so sorry. I know how y'all Apple people are about y'all Apple phones. When you first sign up to drive, you're going to put in your zip code of where you would like to deliver, and they will place you in that area. And if it's a bunch of Walmarts within that zip code, then they're going to pretty much put you in that area to pick up for all the Walmarts in that particular zip code, or what's close to where you say you live. But now I see that they also have where you can change your zones, is what they call it in the app. You can change your zones. So I'm guessing that if you were to say that you were going on vacation and you wanted to change your zone real quick and you wanted to drive in another location, let's just say you were on vacation and you did want to drive in Miami, or you wanted to drive somewhere else just to see how it is, you can change your zones, and then you can do that directly from the app. And it used to did not be like that, but now, you can do that. So yeah, that's another big thing with it. So that's how you're chosen. That's how the stores are chosen for you, based on the zip code that you put in. Do you have to pick up for every store? Absolutely not. I've told you all several times before that I have 5 Walmarts that's in my area, and I don't pick up for all of them. It's because you're an independent contractor driving for Spark. You're basically making your own schedule. So it's up to you. So when they send notifications out to you, which all of this happens through the app, they'll send notifications to you, and it'll have accept or reject. You don't have to accept any of them if you don't want to. But keep in mind that your metrics will go down if you constantly, if you're not accepting any of the notifications that they send out or anything like that. So if you know that you don't want to deliver for a particular order that comes through, then you would just basically hit the reject button, and then it'll just go away. They do have metrics. And what I mean by metrics is if you're on time, how often you're dropping your orders at the last minute, the customer's rating, and your acceptance rate. So with being on time, they send out the notifications once they know that they have a delivery for you. They send the notifications out, and usually it's probably like an hour to 30 minutes before it's time to actually pick up the order. Sometimes it's quick and it's last minute, but it's totally up to you, like I said, whether or not you want to accept that particular order. They send those out, so if you are on time, they give you within a 15-minute window to get to the store. So if you are on time or within that window to get to the store, then your metric will stay in the green. If you start to drop down below what their standards are, then it goes from green to orange to red. If you're in the red for any of the metrics that they have set for you, then of course, yeah, they're probably going to be emailing you, and I know for sure that you will get deactivated. So that's with anything. That's kind of like your appraisal. Let's just say if you were working a 9-to-5 and you had to go in and get your evaluation, this is basically how that is. It's just evaluating if you're hitting your marks for what you signed up for. Your customer ratings is, I know a lot of drivers that's out here already know that you have the thumbs up and the thumbs down after you complete a delivery, but a customer also sees that about you. So if you're delivering something and they felt like it wasn't good, your service wasn't good, or something was off about it, and they give you a thumbs down, and you get enough of those, then it makes your metrics drop down. And it can drop as low all the way to the red. I've had some people that reach out to me to say, they've done everything that they think they could to make sure that the order was good, and the customer still downgraded them. And that happens. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. Some people just gonna downgrade you just because. That's just what it is. I haven't had that let me stop. I had that to happen, and I'm sure this is why my rating was dropped. Because if you haven't saw the video where I was talking about the worst customer ever, I'm pretty sure that's where that downgrade came from, and it dropped me down to in the orange. So I was still pretty good. It didn't go to the red because most of my my metrics in the customer rating is pretty good. I'm always in the green. Kudos to that. So that's a good thing that I'm actually providing service to them up to their standards. As far as your acceptance rate, now here's where I had a problem with that, because basically back then when I first started driving, you had to have a schedule. It was a schedule that you were on, and you set that schedule to say, whether you were going to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then you're just not going to work the rest of the time. And I had the problem of logging in, saying I'm going to work, and then be off somewhere else doing something else, and totally forget all about that I've logged into the Spark app. And so I was getting notifications. They were coming through, and I was just letting them go, just disappear, and not accepting or rejecting any of them because I had forgot that I had the app on. And so it downgraded me, like, to the point of almost to the red of not accepting, although everything else was green and good to go. So I say that to say this: they will deem you for, if you sign in and say that you're going to be working, then they expect you to accept or at least reject. Don't just leave them hanging out there like, hey, I'm not just going to answer any calls or whatever. So, just keep that in mind. But now, like I was saying, back then we were able to, go in and change the schedule and do whatever. But now they have this button for you to actually log in. It's not necessarily a schedule anymore, but you have to turn the Spark Now on in the app in order to be able to receive notifications. If you don't have that turned on, then you won't receive anything at all. And you can log in for as long as you want to, but I think they do it in like 4-hour increments. So if you log in, they only let you start to do Spark Now at, I think it's 7 o'clock. You can turn it on, maybe 6:30. And once you turn it on, it gives you like a 4-hour window. Like, you can say, I want to work from to 8 o'clock to 10:30 to 4 o'clock. To 12:30. And then after 12:30 or whatever time that you say expires, then you have to go back in and turn Spark on again, because it's only tracking how long you said that you want to do it. So a better example of that is, okay, so I said, let's just say that I wake up and I say at 7 o'clock, I want to turn my Spark Now on. So I turn it on, and then it's the drop down that comes up, and it says, 8:30. I want to Spark Now till 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. If I put till 11:30, at 11:30, it's going to just shut off. Unless you go back in and you turn it on to go a little bit longer. So you can go as long as you want to, but you just have to remember that the time that you put in, that it's going to actually time out on you, and you have to go back in. Y'all done? All right, so as far as your your drop metric, that is basically for those drivers that are out here accepting, because I think back in the day that you used to have on your auto accept, and it'll just, your phone is just going to automatically accept whatever they send to you. And so what happened with that is a lot of people will have that on, and then they realize they don't want to do the call or do the delivery, and then they'll just cancel it at the last minute. That hurts your drop rating. So if you accept an order, if it's not an emergency, because once you do, if you need to drop it or you need to cancel it, it's going to ask you, is it an emergency or something like that. But if you do enough drops at the last minute, then of course that's going to make your drop rating go down. And that's only because, it's basically like, how would you feel if you were expecting your groceries to come at 1 o'clock and at 12:50 the driver decides that, oh, I don't want to do it. So now what Spark has to do is scramble around and find somebody that can do it. And this is where a lot of the drivers probably already see this. Those last minute calls that just keep coming back to back. It's more than likely because somebody went in the system, accepted the call, and then decided that they weren't going to do it, and so they just put it back in the queue. And so now it's like do or die to try to find somebody to deliver. So they do deem you for that as well. So those are the metrics of how they rate you. A lot of people want to know about pay. Definitely about pay. Okay, so your pay, when the notification comes in, it basically gives you a base pay of what that order is. And so it's up to you whether or not you want to accept it or not. The lowest I've seen it come is $7 for one order. And sometimes they do batch some orders together. When I say batch, that means you're going to go to one store and you're going to pick up 2 orders and take them to 2 different locations. That's basically what a batch order means. But your pay is, you're going to see exactly what you're going to get paid. It's a lot of different fees that's on the back end of that. A lot of people always ask about I think it's the transaction fee or all of that. Whatever you see in your app for the delivery base pay, that's what it is. You don't have to worry about any other fees coming out because they've already taken all of those fees out. And whatever you see in your app, that is what you're going to get paid for that particular delivery. So you don't have to worry about, okay, well, are they going to be nickel and diming me for every little bit of the delivery that I do? No, what you see is what you get. And they've also even put in now where you can see estimated tips. So let's just say that a customer, it has already, like, they want to just go ahead on and put whatever the tip is beforehand, before the order is even picked up. Some people do that. And so now they've given the drivers the leisure of seeing that before they actually get to the store. So if a customer put in a pre-tip, and let's just say it was $7, and the base pay for your actual delivery order was $9, so you're going to see that that order is estimated at $16. You're going to see that that's estimated at $16 because it has the base pay and what that estimated customer's tip is. Now, granted, if you don't provide a good service for this customer, they have up to 24 hours to go back in and change their tip. So just because you see it doesn't mean that it's written in red or in stone. It's not written in stone, because they can go back in and change it. If you don't see a tip, they have up to 14 days to go in and add a tip in. So don't get discouraged because you don't see that anybody tipped, or that you don't see the tip the same day. Because even if it is a tip that's been added on, let's just say if it's a tip that's been added on after you've done the delivery, more than likely you're not going to see that tip until the next day anyway. And where you'll see that is in your earnings tab, and it'll say it'll have what your deliveries are, and then at the bottom it's going to be an extras tab, just right at the bottom as you're scrolling, and it'll just tell you what tip was added on for what particular order. So that's how that goes. So whatever tips you get, it is 100% yours. Whatever your base pay, whatever it is that you see in the app when you accept the order, that's what it is. You don't have to worry about them taking out any more money after that. As far as attire or what they call it, employee uniform, y'all already see how I deliver. If you've been watching my videos, then you already see how I deliver. I don't have a uniform. I don't wear Spark merchandise. I don't do any of that. I wear whatever I want to wear, but I do be presentable when I'm out. And that's another thing that I do want to talk about, because I have a lot of people that say, I'm not getting any tips, or I'm not doing, or I'm getting downgraded, or whatever. So here's the thing. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think it's all in the presentation and how you present yourself once you get to these customers' home. I'm not judging anybody, but I'm just saying what I think it is, because I know when I get things delivered, I'm looking at the delivery driver that brings me my delivery through my doorbell. Or I might peep out of the window to see what type of car they're riding in. I mean, that's just me. I mean, I don't want to see a car with 3 or 4 kids riding in there. You know, I don't want to see you get out in your booty shorts or stuff like that. You know, I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm just saying customers do look and they do judge by who bring their groceries to them. So if just look at the presentation. If you feel like, yeah, just because you're basically working for yourself and you don't have a boss, you still have accountability. You still have accountability, and you still need to look presentable. I don't care what it is that you're doing. You can be out here picking up cans. You need to look like the best can picker there is out here picking up cans. I'm just saying. So we can start there. You can make sure that your vehicle is clean. You know, try to do whatever it is that you can do that's within, do whatever that you can do that's within your grasp. You get what I'm saying? that can help boost your tips. Because after that, you know that you've done everything that you can. You know, you've gone there, you've delivered, you put their stuff to their door neatly. And if they just don't like you, they just don't like you. And there's nothing that you can do about that. You know, I've gone to places and I've had people look at me quite crazy. I mean, I have my turban. I'm always having my hair wrapped up. And so when I get to their door, it's like, it's all good. And most of the time they won't tip, but it's all good. I have more people that do tip that don't tip. So I don't even let that bother me. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't bother you either. Now, as far as can people ride with you? Actually, no, they're not supposed to even be in the vehicle with you anyway. So if you are riding people around in your car with you while you're delivering, then that may be another reason, because it's like, you know, on a regular day, I don't want just any and everybody coming to my house. I only want people coming to my house that I know. And then let alone if they brought somebody with them. So imagine how somebody would feel if they ordered groceries, you pulled up, and now you got a car full of people. So, you know, just take that into consideration too if you do ride with some passengers in your car. Know your kids cannot help you if you have them in the car with you and you decide, well, hey, so-and-so, let's take this milk up to this customer's door, or let's do this, or let's do that. They cannot help you with your orders. That's your job. You have to go to the door and deliver the groceries. You cannot receive help. So if that is another thing that you've been doing, don't do that. Okay. Going back to pay. Now, it used to be that they would do an automatic direct deposit to your bank, but now they deal with this other app, which is called Branch. Just like the tree branch, it's called Branch, and they actually handle payroll. So you'll be receiving, what you have to do is download that particular app and then put your bank information in. And you do have to have a verifiable bank. They won't let you put in the green dot cards and all of that. You actually have to have a bank that they can connect to. So, and then again, you may be able to do the green dot. I don't know, but I know when I was putting my bank in, it just gives like, it's not a long list of banks. So just keep that in mind, that in order for you to get paid, that they have to have a verifiable bank, that you just can't get your money any kind of way. But you do have to go through Branch, and you won't see that unless you have signed. You won't see your pay unless you have actually signed up in Branch. It's not going to come from DDI anymore like it used to back in the day, where it was a automatic direct deposit. They're not doing that anymore unless you do that. In the Branch app, though, if you are concerned about waiting and getting your money later on, once you do download that and the money goes, once the week closes out, and the week closes out on Sunday, once the week closes out and DDI processes those payments, they send it over to Branch. Once Branch receive it, it's going to send you an email or a text message, or however you wanted your notifications to be set up. It's going to send you that notification to say, hey, you have some Branch money over here. What you'll have to do is go into the app and decide whether or not you want to transfer that to your bank and wait a few days, you know, like the 2 to 5 business days, or you can opt to do it like immediately, an immediate deposit, but there is a convenience fee for that. Now, they do have like a debit card or something like that you can put your money on, kind of like the PayPal cards and stuff like that. So if you want to opt and get that, then that's another option for you. But I use my personal bank. So that's pretty much it as far as pay goes. You know, you're just gonna be out here delivering and getting your check, getting your money. And it doesn't matter how many deliveries you do. You can do as many as you want to. I've seen some people that make $2,000 a week because they accept every single order that comes through their app, through their notifications. I don't do that. The way that I deliver, when the notification comes through for me, I Google the location. If I already don't know what it is, I Google the location to see where it is. I don't go to unsavory places, period. And I need to know where I'm going ahead of time. So Don't judge me. That's just what I do. As far as once you get accepted and you have an issue with the app or anything like that, once you download the app and you can go in and actually see all the different features and stuff like that, on that left side, where it's going to show the home page, the earnings tab, all these different tabs, it's going to be a button that says report an issue. That button, you can tell them, if you want to put, you want to let them know about something that you feel will work a little bit better, you can put that in there. If the app is not working correctly, that's where you will put all of that. If you're having any issues with pay, you can insert all of that right there. So any issue that you have, you can just use that as like a maintenance request per se, and it sends that to Spark to say, hey, I got an issue. Now, if you're having some issues as you're delivering, it's always a help button that's up at the top inside your app. You would click that and it will give you some frequently asked questions to see if it can kind of answer your questions there, or you can opt to call the 800 number so that they can help you and try to get things figured out. I had got a question also that was asking, what is the extra effort pay that you will sometimes see in the app once you're accepting an order? If you go to a store and you have to wait, if you're within the time frame that they gave and you're on time and you have to wait while you're there, most of the time they'll put the extra effort pay on. It's not that much, but they still compensate you for having to wait at the store. So that's to answer whoever question that had asked that, what is the extra effort pay. It used to be also, depending on how much you actually had to do in order to get the order, because back then we were going inside the store to do pickups, and that's going to lead me to another thing too. But back then we were going inside the store to do in-store pickups when we had an order like that. And now you don't have to do that, because all of the orders, regardless if it's in store or whatever it is, it comes curbside. So you don't have to go inside the store at all anymore. It's the same process as if you were doing curbside. You don't have to go in the store, so don't go in the store wasting your time, because they're gonna just look at you crazy, because it's already been rolled out that you don't have to come in. All right, so don't be going in these folks' store now. If you have a return, that was another question. If you have a return, if you get an order, you get to the location, you can't find the location, you call the customer, they don't answer, and you call Spark to try to help you get the customer on the line, and you still can't get in touch with them, you will have to take that order back to the store. So you will get paid for taking it back to the store. It's not like you're going to be just wasting your time like, I knew I shouldn't have took this or whatever. It was just a waste of my time. You're still going to get paid. So it's the same process as if you were picking the order up. You don't have to go inside the store and take it back in. You will let the store know, because it'll be something at the bottom that says return back to the store. And then you're going to say you're on your way. This is going to alert the Walmart associate on their little handheld device or whatever it is that they use that you're on your way back. Once you're there, you're going to confirm that you're back at the store, put your parking space number in, and then wait on the employee to come back out and get that order from you. Once they do get it, then you're just going to confirm that the order has been dropped back off at Walmart, and that's it. You're going to be paid for it. So it's not like it's going to be in vain that you just out here riding around and now you got to go double back and go back to the store. You're still going to get compensated for it. So to answer whoever question, if you ask that, there's your answer. Oh, if you don't feel safe delivering, don't deliver it. Like I said, go back and look at my worst customer ever delivery video, and just look at that If you don't feel safe, take the order back to the store, because Walmart don't want you out here, or Spark don't want you out here, risking your life trying to get somebody their order. And if you get a customer to call you or text you, because they can contact you within the app also, but it's not going to give them your actual phone number. It's a dummy number that is set up, which is the same way with you. You can contact them within the app, but it's not going to give you their phone number, and it's not going to give them your phone number. So y'all will be able to talk to each other, but it's just, it'll be just unknown. But if they reach out to you and say, hey, you know what? Don't worry about taking it to this address. Bring it over here. Don't take that order over there. You take that order back to the store. Because in order for them to change locations, they need to cancel the order and put the correct address. You're only going to deliver to the address where you, in the app that you see. If they call you and change it and you take it over there, that's going to be on you. Because you're only to deliver where they say in the app, okay? That also goes for not crossing these people's threshold. Some drivers, I guess y'all were going inside these customers' home before we were doing no contact delivery. And some of the customers were thinking that, I guess you're supposed to just walk all over their home and take their groceries into their kitchen. You're only supposed to bring the groceries to the door and not to the kitchen, not to the living room and nowhere else, just to the door. It's up to them to get it inside the house. All right. So just don't do it. But other than that, it's a fairly easy side gig. Some people do this as their full-time job. If you hustling, if you all about that hustle like that, by all means do that. I only do it a couple of days a week, a couple of hours a week. Some people do it like a set schedule. Some run a full 8 hours. I do probably like 2 hours here, maybe an hour there, no more than about 4 or 5 hours a day if I do it. So, and I still make a considerable amount of money. And that leads me to bonuses and incentives. Spark has this thing of always running different bonuses, incentives. All right, so as far as a bonus, Spark does do a lot of incentives and bonuses so that, they try to, I guess, keep you inspired and motivated. This sun is, whew. But they try to keep you inspired and motivated to want to do the job. So most of the time they are running different incentives where you can do a certain amount of deliveries to get more money per delivery. So that's also a good thing that I like about them. And also, it just seems like to me that they take care of their drivers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just saying that just to be saying that. I'm saying that because for the time that I've been working with them, I haven't had any issues other than them deactivating me because I wasn't accepting orders like I was supposed to. Like I was telling y'all, I would turn the app on, but then I wouldn't accept any orders. And they did deactivate me, but I did give them a call. And by the time I got off the call, I was already back activated again. And it's not a hard task to do. You would just call them and just tell them that you want your account to be activated again, and that's it. So I hear a lot of horror stories from other delivery drivers from other platforms that always say, like certain companies or whatever are stealing the tips or taking money from them or whatever the situation is. And I haven't had that issue at all with Spark. If they say what the amount for the order is going to be before you pick it up, that's what it's going to be. It hasn't been any wool pulled over my eyes or anything like that. And if I have any other drivers that are out there and you've had that to happen, chime in and just let others know this. If you have had issues like that with Spark doing anything or holding your money or anything like that, let everybody know, because I haven't had that issue. And even if you've had a great experience as a driver, leave that in the comments below as well, because you never know who you may be helping because they probably feel like I am sponsored. I am not sponsored by Spark at all. They do not sponsor me, none whatsoever. When I do these videos with the intentions of helping you, the viewer, whoever it is that's out here, like I said, that's trying to make a considerable amount of second income. If this is something that you're leaning towards to be your primary income, this is what my videos are for. To just try to help you out and try to give you the steps or the tips that I take, you know. That's it. So don't think for a minute that Spark is sponsoring me, although they could, you know what I'm saying? They need to. Spark, if you're listening, go ahead and sponsor your girl. But yeah, that's basically it. So if you are planning to sign up, I'm going to leave the link down in the description so that you can go ahead and do that, or I'll run it across the screen so that you have access to that as well. And also, if you are in my area, which is in Georgia, and you want to help your girl out, when you sign up under my referral code, I will get paid and you will get paid, and that'll be that. So yeah, if you have any other questions or anything like that, just leave them down in the comments below. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. We're close to 1,400 subbies, and I would love to hit that before October is over. So go ahead and make sure that you hit that subscribe button. It's the little bell that's next to it. Click that notification bell so that you will be notified anytime that I upload videos. And I will talk to you guys in the next video, okay? Peace.